Sounds like we got a lot of youngsters down there that want to go home already. So we're going to reconvene our joint meeting. Never had to use that. It works. All right, we're ready to reconvene our joint meeting of the City Council, successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency, Public Finance Authority, the Public Utility Authority, Housing Authority, Perris Joint Powers Authority, and the Perris Community Economic Development Corporation of the City of Perris this Tuesday, January 14th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. Madam Clerk, can we have roll call, please?
Sure. Councilmember Rogers.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Magana.
Here.
Councilmember Corona.
Here.
Councilmember Rab.
Here.
Mayor Vargas.
Here. Thank you. Item A is our closed session. Mr. Dunn?
Thank you, Mayor. Would you like to do the invocation first and the pledge?
My sheet's all backwards. Yes, of course. Okay, item 3 is our invocation, and that'll be led by Pastor Terry L. Wells from the First Baptist Church of Perris. If everybody could please rise and then remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Councilwoman Rogers.
I invite you to pray with me. Well, dear Heavenly Father, we come to you right now in the precious name of your Son, Jesus Christ. As being the Almighty God and all present, we invoke the very presence of your Holy Spirit, asking a special blessing on the mayor and all the council members. Give them not just the knowledge, Heavenly Father, for the concerns or the things that should be brought up on the agenda, but give them the understanding and, most importantly, guide them with your wisdom to be able to render a proper decision that will continue to allow Perris community to be a light, a beacon, but most importantly, an example of when you put faith first, how a city can continue to grow. All those that are participating, that is in attendance, give them the confidence and the courage to be able to speak their concerns and their proposals, but most importantly, allow them to have a sense of peace, that their concerns shall be heard, that their concerns shall be listened to, but most importantly, their concerns shall be measured with the proper response. We pray all these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Please join me as we salute our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. It helps when you're on the right page on your agenda. I was on the wrong page, so I apologize for that. Okay, item 5 is our report on closed session. Mr. Dunn?
Thank you, Mayor. The council met in closed session to discuss the real property negotiations and a performance evaluation, and no reportable action was taken tonight.
Thank you. Item 6 is our presentation. 6A is presentation by Kaiser Permanente to announce the City of Perris as a grant award recipient for Grow Perris. And this will be introduced by Director of Community Services, Sabrina Chavez.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Yeah, we're very excited to announce this presentation of the city's receipt of a grant through Kaiser. And here to present this announcement is Cecilia Arias of Kaiser Permanente Benefit Health Manager.
Thank you. Good evening, and I'm very honored to be here again. I've been here a few times, and it's actually always an honor to recognize the good work that the City of Perris is doing. So good evening, Mayor Vargas, City Council members, and Mr. Bermudez, the City Manager. My name is Cecilia Arias, and I serve as the Community Health Manager for Kaiser Permanente in the Riverside County area. And just like the City of Perris, Kaiser Permanente believes that health happens in the community, where we live, work, play, worship, learn. That's really where the impact is huge in our health status. So we applaud what you guys are doing in the Grow Perris initiative. We present a new grant to you for the city, the Grow Perris initiative. And I love the initiative because it's pioneering urban agriculture and community-based solutions to transform your community. The Grow Paris initiative has been on our radar for a few years, and I know it aims to expand the health equity and improve health outcomes for Paris residents through your multidisciplinary curriculum, integrating urban farming and the techniques needed to be competitive in the 21st century. It also provides, of course, something we're always committed to is healthy nutrition practices. We love the aspect that you're putting into it for youth workforce development. And of course, the strategies for local economic development are definitely an impact that you will see as a strategy that really brings back quality of health to everybody. So we presented your first grant back in 2014, and our investments we know have been well used and leveraged to the betterment of the community. So we're really proud of the total investment we've given to the city of Perris. So I present to you another grant for $25,000 for the Grow Paris initiative. And on behalf of Kaiser Permanente, we do look forward to more great stories coming from the city of Perris. And we're glad to be among one of your many supporters. So I have a check to present to you. We can do this now, or we could do it after we do the other three presentations, and you're coming down for the group picture for then. But here is your check for $25,000.
If you don't mind, Cecilia, we'll come down and we'll do all three together. So, but just keep in mind, though, with checks like that, you're always welcome to come back to Paris. Okay, presentation B is an award for the winner of the 2019 Deck the Walls Paris Holiday Decorating Contest. And this will be introduced by our Chief Information Officer, Arturo Cervantes.
Good evening, council members, mayors, everyone. We're happy to introduce the winner of Deck the Walls, and I will have Karina, our intern student, social media specialist, introduce the award.
The City of Perris initiated its inaugural Deck the Walls Paris Challenge this past holiday season and encouraged residents to join the holiday spirit by decorating their homes. The first winner of the contest was the Ford family, and they are here to receive a plaque in honor of their participation and selection as the 2019 Deck the Walls winners. On behalf of the City of Perris, we wanted to take a moment and congratulate you on your selection as the winners of the inaugural Deck the Walls Paris Challenge. The City Council and Perris residents thank you for your participation and event and commend you for your efforts in bringing the holiday spirit to your community.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I hope my wife wasn't watching this. That's one house. Where's Mr. Ford or Mrs. Ford? Who's here? Come on up, sir. We got some. We're going to come down to the podium. We're going to come down and take pictures after the next presentation, but just a couple of questions. Do you have any idea how many lights you had up there?
Oh, at least thousands of lights. But well, I try to keep it classic because my favorite film is if you guys ever seen the National Lampoon's Christmas. Yeah. And I was like, every year I try to do the same thing where more and more, every wall's got to be done, every window, everything. And I try to keep it classic where most of it is not LED lights, it's all incandescent and those old school like C9, the big ones. All the trees have them on the outlines of the house, so.
So you were the fault of all the outages in your neighborhood.
Yeah, that's me. So if you guys have any problems, look at this guy.
So I have to ask you.
But my enjoyment is your guys' enjoyment. That makes me really happy to do it.
I have to ask you, how long did it take you to do all your lights?
It took 3 weeks.
3
weeks to put up, and I'm still taking it down right now. It's taking a little while.
So do you do house calls?
Yeah. I got enough people here. Can all help?
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be down in a minute. We're gonna take some photos. Don't leave.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Our third and last presentation is certificates to the Pee Wee Division I Panther football team, and this will be introduced by myself. Just a couple of words before we step down. So these guys, last year I went to the Super Bowl and I watched the team before them. I don't know what division that was. Huh?
It was the Eastern Division.
No. The kids that played, the division that played before the Pee Wees. The two Perris teams went last year, and my wife and I went to the Super Bowl, and we got to see the younger kids play, and I had to leave because of a busy calendar, and that's when these guys turned around and won the Super Bowl. So here we are again 2 years in a row, right? Back to back. Is a third? Hold on. So am I to understand this is a three-peat? I thought I heard someone say third. Okay, right. So it's a repeat. So now we're going to go for a three-peat, right? As who had said that in the Lakers? It's Pat. Yeah, it's also patent, so I can't use that word. So, but anyway, it's truly amazing. There is a lot of talent here in Perris with all our sports, music, bands, choir, you name it. There is a lot of talent here in Perris. And we keep getting a lot of comments about the Panther Field. And my understanding, and I'm going to have, I have two people that sit on the Parks and Recs Committee. And my understanding, the Panther Field was built, this was a temporary field that was built with some future modifications to be coming down the road. And this is done way before I got here, so I don't know.
2006.
Thank you very much. I knew that she'd know that. So what I'm asking the Parks and Recs Committee is to go back to 2006 and find out what happened or what's going on with that park and where we left off, and see with our parks tax fee money that we have collecting that's building bathrooms, what have you, we can go back and look at that park and see what kind of enhancements that we can do. I'm not promising anything, but I think it's time to do what the city apparently promised back in 2006 or whenever it was, about some modifications to that park. Right? All right. Okay. So we're going to come down, we're going to pass out these ton of certificates that I hand, and I don't do no digital signature, but I hand sign each one of these, so. It's important for me to honor all our kids that are out there. So we're going to come down and issue these all. We're going to take a picture, and then we'll take other pictures with our other presentations and go from there. I didn't study the names, so I know I'm going to have some tough times on these names. So bear with me. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to call you up. I'm going to read what one of the certificates says. How do you like the beard? Yeah? All right. Thumbs down, anybody? Because I'm not liking this, but I'm trying it out. Yeah? White hair, though. It's not black like it used to be back in the day. So I'm going to read off what one certificate says, and then I'll call everybody's name out after that. You're going to shake the mayor's hand. Then we're going to go stand next to our council. When we're all done, we're going to take one big group photo. Okay? Moms, dads, sisters, uncles, aunties, grandpas, whoever, you're welcome to come right up here and take a picture. You don't have to stand back there and try to take a picture. They're not looking at you. Come right up here in front. After our public information officer done with his photos. $5 a shot for the mayor, and we're good. Where's my nearest coach? In case, can you come up here to the front, sir? In case someone's not here, I'm going to give you their certificate. Is everybody here? Okay, that's I always anticipate a couple of absence. Have a seat. Okay, so this is what each certificate reads off. Certificate of recognition presented to Dwan London, Pee Wee Division I Panther Football Team, 2019 Super Bowl champions. May it be known that the mayor and the city council of the city of Perris hereby recognize your achievements, hard work, and dedication to Pee Wee Panthers and congratulate you on a great season as Super Bowl champions, presented this 14th day of January 2020. Come on up, Dwan. Dwan, come on up. So what's Dwan, come on up. Is he here? Huh? He's not here. I picked right off the back, I picked one. So help me, Coach. Last year, before your game, the other kids that played in the Super Bowl, what division was that? Junior micro. Now, this is what's going on, folks. Your tall mayor is going to be giving out certificates to someone that's called Pee Wee, and hey, I didn't say a joke, and probably the majority of them are all going to be taller than me, so I don't get this Pee Wee division stuff. All right, let's try this next one. Michael Lawson. All right. Are you the quarterback? Yeah, you're taller than me. Camden Connor. Are you the quarterback? You're taller than me too. Congratulations. Thank you. Zachariah Butler. Same height. Sir Gaines. Huh? Saye. Saye. That's good. Congratulations. Anthony Ruelas. Yeah, I love it. First Mexican, he's shorter than me. No, you got me too. Ah, let me go get my stool. Congratulations. Armando Barney. Congratulations. Eddie Smith. Dion Jordan. About even? No? That's the hairdo. Michael Wanza. Wanzo? There's got to be one. Congratulations. Thank you. Colin Fleming. He's not here. These are all my short guys that are not here. Foster Slaughter. Anthony Boone. Congratulations. Isaac Sandoval. Congratulations. Jason Ramirez. Mario Perez. That was my short. Mario's not here. Brandon Morris. Carlos Murillo. Jace Butler. Jace Butler. Alexis Gallegos.
My man. My man.
That wasn't a joke, folks. Dylan Vega. Oh, hold on. Got the kids? Okay, this one now goes, we're going to hit the coaches and the team mom. I hope team mom's here. Amanda, are you here? We got to recognize the help, right? Without the coaches, oh my God, they beat you up. Must be a tough job being a team mom. Here you go. Stick around for the. Oh. So as I was saying, the coaches, team moms, everybody behind the scene, they never get the credit for what they do. And we have to acknowledge them because it's them that's out there every day teaching these kids to play. And a lot of these kids go on to high school and even on to college and pro ball. I mean, so this is where it's all at, and we appreciate everything that these coaches do. Raylene Ruelas, athletic director. Raylene is their athletic director, and she's shorter than the mayor. This guy's connected to a lot of people. He keeps coming up. Stick around. Alex Ruelas. I knew it. Oh, look at this multi-talented guy. Take more pictures or no? Ahmad Jackson. This is the head. This is the El Mas Chingon right here. That's the head coach right here. Congratulations, sir. Oh. He must be the team photographer. Cliff Hunter, defensive coordinator. Congratulations, sir.
Appreciate it, brother.
Assistant coach James Vega. You guys brothers? Pretty good. Like twins almost. Oh, wait. One for the team. Thank you. And last but not least, offensive coordinator Dion Jordan. Not here? He's not here. All right, now we're going to try to make magic here and get one big photograph here. I lost my console with all these big kids. Yeah, go back to the wall. Tall guys all the way to the back. Let the council folks come up front, in particular the short mayor.
Yeah. Some of you can take a knee. Don't feel bad.
All right, where's my $25,000 check? Come on up, Cecilia.
All right, you go on three. One, two, and three.
No, it should be coming in clear.
Okay, the Ford family, right, for the lights? Oh. Is this your helper?
Yes, my best helper.
So we're giving you this plaque that says the Ford's 184 Alabama. Oop, I'm giving out the address.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Prize winners of the Holiday Light and Decorative Contests, Deck the Walls Paris, in the nomination for Best Holiday Honoree, Holiday Home, and agrees to do the mayor's house next year.
Sweet. You can do that. Lizzie right there, Lizzie.
What is this?
It's a long
Yeah. Oh, there's still more.
Oh, cool.
There's a sticks for it.
Oh, it's a
Oh, the
stick for it.
stakes, yeah.
Oh, very nice. All right, let's take a group photo with the rest of the council and myself. Come on, sweetie. In addition to all these goodies, we're also going to issue you a key to the city.
All right, sweet.
That's where the lights are stored at, so you can get right to the lights.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the fuse box, right?
Yes.
There you go. That's good right there. All right, on three. Here we go. One, two, and look right here, sweetheart. All right. Thank you, guys. We got one. Yeah, that's in the back.
Okay, very good.
So I had to make a notice. I was told after we did the photos with the football team that these boys had a combined GPA average of 3.2, I believe. So that's very awesome. And if they didn't maintain a certain grade level, they couldn't play ball. So it's good to know that that the coach holds them to a level for education, and you know it is important that education comes first. Excuse me, 3.4 overall GPA. That's awesome, Coach. Okay. Anybody have any comments before I move on?
Yeah, I'll make it quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to thank the P-Town football for doing a great job, especially the coaches and to the athletes. You know, as the mayor said, grades are super important. You know, because I know most of you guys are in junior high, but pretty soon you'll be in high school, and if you don't have the grades, you don't get to play. But I'm sure you guys are going to work hard, and I'm sure your parents are going to really be on you. To the Ford family, I want to say a big thank you to you for literally lighting up your community. For those who don't know, they actually for Halloween just do a phenomenal display as well too. So they're located off of Alabaster Loop in the south of Perris and Monument Ranch area. So for Halloween, make sure you go out there. They got plenty of stuff for the kids and, of course, for Christmas, too. But thank you.
Okay. Councilman Rab?
Yes, just want to congratulate all the awardees. Thank you for coming out today. And just want to tell all the football players to keep your GPA up. College will be right around the corner. And want to congratulate the Ford family for their excellent light display and thank Kaiser Permanente for awarding us the grant. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Rogers?
Yeah, I just want to thank the Ford family for exempling the Christmas spirit and being very merry this year for Christmas. And I want to thank Kaiser Foundation for always supporting us since we started with our Live Well campaign in the garden. You've been a big supporter and a contributor to that campaign, so I want to thank you. And as far as the football team, P-Town in the house.
All right, thank you, everybody. Okay, we're going to move on to item 7, approval of the minutes. 7A is consideration to approve the minutes of the special joint city council and planning commission meeting which was held on December 4th, 2019, and the regular joint meeting held on December 10th, 2019 of the city council successor agency to the redevelopment agency and all its entities as listed in 7A. I have a motion by Councilman Rab and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Magana. Please call the vote.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Item 8 is our consent calendar. Consent calendar are items normally enacted in one motion. The mayor or city council may remove a consent calendar item for separate action. We will have public comment, which is limited to 3 minutes. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
No, sir.
Okay. Council, do you have, anybody want to pull anything from the consent calendar? Okay. Anybody at this time that did not fill a card out would like to speak on the consent calendar? Okay. Then I'll entertain a motion. We have a motion by Councilwoman Rogers, a second by Councilman Rab. Please call the vote.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Zipping right along here. Item 9 is public hearings. We have no public hearings. Item 10, business items. 10A, consideration to receive and file the City of Perris Homelessness Initiative Quality of Life Strategy presentation. This will be introduced by Assistant City Manager Miramontes, who promised not to take more than a minute.
Okay, the pressure is on. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Tonight, I'd like to introduce to you the City of Perris Quality of Life Strategy. In the past few months, the Housing Division, through the Homeless Ad Hoc Subcommittee, which is led by Mayor Pro Tem Magana and Councilman Corona, has been working with the Sheriff's Department, Code Enforcement staff, and our SWAG team in ways to identify concerns and to improve the quality of life throughout the city. One of the goals of the strategies was in coming up with ways to address homelessness and vagrancy to further improve the quality of life for all its residents, businesses, and visitors by creating awareness, resources, and participation through a collaborative effort. So what we did, we tried to identify what components are necessary in order to make this all kind of work together. And what we identified was that there are 3 key components that need to work hand in hand with each other to be able to be successful in this strategy. And what we did identify that the 3 components are community, resources, and enforcement, and I'll go through each one of them very briefly in the next few slides. The first one is enforcement. As in the last few months, the council did authorize the increase in policing staff in order to reduce crime and vagrancy in the downtown parks and business districts. And that did include the addition of 2 deputy sheriffs under the problem-oriented policing team, which is the POP team. And as well, we did get an additional 1 full-time sergeant under the SET team, which is our specialized enforcement team. The planning division, working alongside with the city attorney's office, also came back with an aggressive solicitation ordinance, which does allow the enforcement team or the law enforcement to be able to issue administrative citations in order to enforce and kind of deter vagrancy throughout the city. And the third provision was the no trespassing law, which is the filing of a 602 form, and that's primarily to give our law enforcement the ability to arrest or file charges on anybody trespassing on a private property. So this is the enforcement side of this strategy. But in order to work with our enforcement team, we also need resources. And what we came up with, we do need the help of all our departments, our different groups throughout the city. And that includes the Social Work Action Group, which is our SWAG team, the County Sheriff's Department, the City of Perris Code Enforcement, the City of Perris Housing Division. And with that, we created reference handouts. And I think there are a couple of those handouts or quick reference cards that were distributed to you at your front of you. And this means that we want to make this information accessible to the public, to the businesses, and to the visitors, ways to be able to get a quick number and know where to call and who to call for the various types of issues involving vagrancy or homelessness. And this could be anybody who is in need of help or someone who sees something or sees someone that needs help. We've also created a website, and that'll be presented in a little bit shortly. And we've also done a series of press releases to get the word out that we do have this homelessness campaign that we want to keep working towards. And the third component is community. We do absolutely need the involvement of the community, including in businesses and residents. We do need to get the word out. We do need our businesses, our residents, to be able to also distribute this information, including our community-based organizations. The Housing Division has also been working with the Sheriff's Department and the Chamber in ongoing business crime prevention meetings. And we get their feedback, we've put together some information, and we will continue to disperse this information. And now I'd like to present Ms. Michelle Ogawa, who is our Interim Housing and Economic Development Manager, who will be presenting our website.
Hi, good evening, Mayor, members of the council. So I'm going to briefly take you through the resources that we've developed in our Perris Cares efforts. So, and the website is intended to be and built out to be accessible and easy to navigate. So there's a lot of quick hit information. This is the home page where you land once you take the link to get there. So we have a little bit of information, a definition of homelessness, and a list of the do's and don'ts as recommendations. And then these three areas on the left-hand side, so the needs assistance get involved, and the people of Perris are the main sections of the website. And I'll take you through each of those briefly. And clicking on any of those boxes will take you directly to that section. So this is where you land for the needs assistance page. This is where we've worked directly with the Social Work Action Group, City of Perris Code Enforcement, and Riverside County Sheriff to gather some of the information on their frequently asked questions. And each of these icons on the bottom of those sections will link directly to their websites. The icons at the bottom will link directly to their social media, and any of the underlined areas will link directly to those forms. So this is intended to be quick and easy to direct you to the entity that you need to get to if you need assistance. And then in the boxes that follow, and this is a continue stream, we put this together for the purposes of the presentation. It's a single scroll website, so it's easier to navigate. These are some county resources, some of our frequently asked questions in the housing division that we often refer to the county. So if you get here first, then you won't have to make the extra trip to City Hall just to find out that you have to go to the county housing authority. And then there at the bottom, we have other general resources that we put together for any other assistance. And these are all continuously updated and intended to be kept current. So if you, for any reason, our information is included on this as well. So if for any reason you need assistance that you can't find here, give us a call and let us know, and we'll do our best to direct you and also include it on the site. The second section is most closely related to the community-based efforts that Clara mentioned. So this is the Get Involved section. So this will link you directly to community-based organizations, nonprofits, charitable organizations that work directly with homelessness services. And so we've listed SWAG already as a known service provider, our service provider, and we'll also be filling this in. We've received some recommendations from presenting it to our committee, and we're working directly with those entities to get their information up, and we're taking continuous recommendations for additional local nonprofits to include as well. And then the third section of the site will sort of put a face and a name to our local community members who are experiencing homelessness. We work directly with the Social Work Action Group to collect success stories and to publish them here so that you can stay plugged into some of the successes that they're experiencing. And then this is a copy of the resource cards. So that wraps up the website. These are a copy of the resource cards that you have in front of you. These are available. It has a lot of the same quick hit information, the lists that are included on the website. And they're available at any city office, sheriff station, and our local chamber of commerce for the businesses as well. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Supervisor Hewitt's office and SWAG to give an update on the upcoming point in time count.
City Council, Mayor, how are you guys doing today? I like your beard there, Mayor. Mine's almost as long as yours. So let's see. Is it okay if I hand you guys out a quick map? I want to give you guys a visual of what we're about to give you guys here. So I've been working with RCIT for Riverside County to develop some maps to pinpoint some of the locations where Perris and every single area of the county has homeless folks. There was a total of, let me start out here. There's a, wait, do you guys have the whole thing there? I will also provide you guys with a detailed map of the city of Perris. Obviously, you guys have that, and SWAG will touch up on those there. I just wanted to briefly talk to you guys about the point in time count. You guys know it's coming up really fast, and I want to make sure that you guys know that Supervisor Jeff Hewitt's office is here to support you guys in any way possible. We strongly believe that we're a team in this, and I think ending homelessness doesn't end at the border of Perris. It extends far beyond that. I think it's important that we all recognize that we all want to get there. Really, the point in time is a federally mandated requirement. In order for the county to receive state and federal funding, we need to make sure that we have accurate numbers because everything is based on that. And to be quite honest, I don't feel like we've been getting accurate numbers in the entire county, which is what I'm here to talk about, is just the meta, right? I know you guys have been really, really stepping up your game, and I'm really, really happy to see that you guys are doing everything you can, from contracting with SWAG to developing your websites to increasing your task force in downtown area, and that's something that I'm really happy to see, and so as a supervisor. This is a quick little breakdown. We have about 2,800 homeless people who were identified in 2019, and you'll see them all populated on that map on your hand there. As you can see, it's pretty much everywhere, right? I'm not going to go, point by point on all this. You guys have this on your email, but really, this is just to show you guys kind of where the need is and where we need to direct resources at the county level. So I'm glad that we've been having ongoing conversations about what you guys need here in the city of Perris. The methodology is pretty simple, right? We have people go out there and do surveys on the day of. It's about a 4-hour. Truthfully, we wish this was about a week long, if not the entire year, because obviously homelessness doesn't just happen 4 hours in a cold morning in January. So we're hoping that we can change that in the future here. And actually, this is pretty much my end part. Aaron is actually going to step up right here.
Thank you, Mario. Hello, Mr. Mayor, City Council, city leaders. I'm Aaron. I work with Social Work Action Group. We've spoken before, and we just wanted to come and express our appreciation for Supervisor Hewitt's office, and of course here with the city and law enforcement, Riverside County Sheriff. They're our biggest, you three. That's kind of the pieces of the puzzle, as Claire mentioned.
And our code enforcement.
And code enforcement, absolutely.
Thank you.
In every day in this city, our team, code enforcement and law enforcement, are communicating, working side by side. The people we serve, generally speaking, mental health and substance abuse are the two major factors. So it's not a matter of them not knowing what the resources are. That's what our team and even the Sheriff's Department and code enforcement, who's very well versed in the services, we're building those relationships, but we're dealing with broken individuals who need that push, and that's really where code enforcement and law enforcement come in. So again, we want to share that message with not just city leaders, county leaders, but the general public. I think there's a general misconception. We hear it all the time. Wow, I just wish there was something for this person. Man, I'm going to give them this money because I know they're going to go buy food. I know they're going to do something right with it. But that's absolutely not the case. The resources, we can always improve on those resources, and actually I think we need to improve on the delivery of those resources, especially with mental health. You're asking somebody to access something that they don't have the basic understanding of why they need it, or let alone how to access it. So we need to change that delivery system, but the services are there. So it's people that are broken and need that help, need that push. Deep poverty. Once somebody gets through treatment, if they haven't worked in multiple years, they don't have the income, they don't have the resources to immediately get their own place. So that's something we struggle with, is placing somebody after treatment. And a lot of people don't want to go to treatment if they don't have a light at the end of the tunnel. If they think they're going to go back to homelessness, then why stop using? Public health, that's something that we haven't heard a whole lot about in Riverside County, but hepatitis A is hepatitis C with the injections of hepatitis A. People that are using the restroom, not washing their hands, and touching public doors, and thankfully it hasn't hit our county, but it's a possibility. So again, we appreciate the supervisor's office working with that, because they work directly with public health. And again, just to reiterate, addressing homeless together, it takes that team. It takes code enforcement, law enforcement. We absolutely cannot do it without those two partners. And then again, the county resources accessing mental health and substance abuse services. And the community, this community has been excellent. The cops and clergy meetings, lots of good people who are getting involved and understanding the issues with homelessness, and that's huge. We're hoping that all the cities we work in will have a cops and clergy meeting. And then one way to get involved is being a part of the point in time count. And if everybody can please go to rivcoexchange.com, you'd have to register first, and then you can go through the training of how to install the app and how to utilize the app. But again, it's a way to help get people involved, the first step, and then we can kind of engage them and educate them a little bit more.
So one of the things that we really push for is to have DPSS provide coordinators for your city, and I'm sure you guys already have one. So we went with the city of Moreno Valley and sat down and tried to help them kind of draft their plan for their counting date. We promise that we'll have someone from our office, and we're going to extend the same thing to you at the city of Perris. We want to have someone from Supervisor Hewitt's office at every single city, constituent city that he has, to make sure that you guys know that we're here to support you. The next year we're opening all our offices, all the supervisors' offices. There's one right here in the city of Perris as well as deployment centers, if you guys want to consider that. So again, if you guys can, make sure you guys sign up for this. Registration date is on January. The final registration date is on January 20th. Everyone needs to create an account to get a QR code to be involved. So make sure that you guys spread that. If you guys post anything on Perris today, I'll make sure that Supervisor Hewitt's Facebook and social medias are all sharing that information. I think this is, again, a very important thing for all of us to work together and make that trek together. So if you guys have any questions, I'd definitely love to answer those.
So I know the point in time count is the 29th, and I know volunteer registration ends. When does the city or the entities involved having the trainings for it?
The trainings will be online. So when you register at rivcoexchange.com, you'll create an account and you'll be able to do training online.
Okay.
So it'll be about an hour-long video that teach you a little bit how to do that, and how to download the app and everything, and how to download the survey itself. And then that'll generate. So just a little changes that happened this last year is there's a lot of talk to saying, how do we know that we're not getting duplicate numbers? How do we know that this is not in part of the county or part of the city of Perris, right? Well, this new software with the QR code, what that allows us to do is register every single volunteer, right? Now they're having the GIS maps track everybody. So every location, there'll be an actual drop pin to make sure that every single person is counted, right? Between, let's say, the city of Moreno Valley and Riverside, one street divides them, right? So the city might say, oh, no, that's in Riverside or that's in Moreno Valley. Well, now we know exactly where that's from. And having UCR partner up with DPSS to create these maps, and this data is really going to help us kind of look at those trends, and again, where those resources are going to be most needed.
Okay. So are we not doing a training for, say, a public that wants a member of our community that wants to join, to how to talk to the individuals that need to be counted? Are we not having at all?
If you want that, I can make that happen,
Okay.
Councilman.
There was, in the past, since I've been here, in the last 3 years, there's always been a training at the Sheriff's Department. I think that's what Councilman Corona's referring to.
That's exactly what I'm
It has nothing to do
talking
with the app. It's talking
Yeah.
about how to deal, how to approach them. Are
Yeah.
we still doing that?
Like,
We can absolutely facilitate
I'm
that.
talking about do's and don'ts,
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to keep jumping on you, but I think that's very critical, guys, because
think it is too.
the people need to know what to do and what not to do while they're out there. That app has nothing. That app is just about counting. Has nothing to do about being streetwise out there with our homeless.
Yeah.
Definitely, we could do that in
Community.
advance, and we do that morning, the morning of, absolutely. And the Sheriff's Department goes over that, do's and don'ts, and
I believe the video also goes over a little bit of that as well.
Okay.
We're knocking on people's,
Okay.
Places where they slept the night before at 5 in the morning. We want to make sure we're courteous to them and we're able to approach them. So absolutely, great point.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't see anybody else in the queue. Thank you very much for the great presentation. See you on the 29th at 03:30 hours.
I'll be here at 5 a.m. right now.
Okay.
Moving on. I'm sorry.
Well, that's it for that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have more questions?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, we still have questions from Councilman Corona.
I kind of have mostly comments, but I definitely want to thank everybody that's been involved. I know dealing with this issue, it's an issue that's all across our state. It's all across our country, but especially in the state of California. I've gone to several conferences regarding this specific topic, and I don't know many places that are more on it than our own city. It's not a perfect situation for anybody to have to deal with. You're constantly having to deal with certain laws and rights and stuff like that, which are totally understandable. But I definitely want to thank those involved. From those that created this go-to thing, of who to call. From those that put it into our newsletter, that are getting the information out there. Just trying to educate our public. From those that were involved in creation of the website, which is very easy to use. While Ms. Ogawa was speaking about it, I was actually on the website and clicking around, and yeah, it's very, very easy to navigate through. So I definitely want to thank everybody for doing such a great job for this. Thank you.
Very good. Anybody else? Okay, I see nobody in the queue. We're good to go. Item 11, public comments. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
Yes, sir. Bill Lamb?
Mr. Lamb.
Good evening, Mayor Vargas, members of the City Council. I'm Bill Lamb from the Southern California Railway Museum. With me is our Corporate Secretary, Heather Garcia, and I do like the beard.
Thank you.
We ended on a positive note last year. For Polar Express, we had 37,000 riders, 33,000 of whom were paid. The difference is we have to report to the Federal Railroad Administration all riders, not just paid, but actors, infants, and anybody guests. And so that's the 37 versus the 33. Last weekend, we completed the annual inspection of our steam locomotive. We come under the same rules as the Union Pacific. We take it down every year for the inspection. The last part of the inspection is covered with inspectors from the Federal Railroad Administration. Everything was okay, and Friday we're going to fire up the locomotive. We're going to be running the locomotive both Saturday and Sunday this coming weekend. So if you want to see a steam locomotive operate, it's a good time to come out. Also this weekend we're going to be having our annual behind the scenes, where you can actually walk under a streetcar. You can see a lot of the items that we have that are not available. You can see a long list of things that need to be restored, but they're part of a historic collection, and they represent a time frame in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas that no longer exists, but it talks about our heritage. So it's a good thing to come out and look at and think about Los Angeles and the area at a different time. we have some upcoming events that Heather is going to talk about.
Our next event is March 7th, which is our Railroad Swap Meet. It's an outdoor swap meet that we hold annually, where you could get antiques, collectibles, arts, books, photos, models, and toy trains. At the same time, as corporate secretary, I'm holding elections every year. So our members will be having their annual meeting where we'll get new directors, 3 new directors to our board, where we could continue moving forward in the future with the museum and the city.
Thank you, and we want to wish you all a very happy and a prosperous new year. Thank you.
For the Polar Express?
37,000 riders, 33,000 paid.
Will it be coming back next year?
Yes.
Oh, or this coming year? Awesome.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
We will also be the only location in Southern California this coming
Wow, that's huge.
That's awesome.
Paris is no doubt on the map on that one. So reiterate, please, how many days was this in total?
It was
Not including the dress rehearsal.
It was 28. It was November 30th through December 28th.
Every weekend, or was it Friday, Saturday, or every day?
It was 6 days a week.
Wow. I'm sorry, November 30th through December?
December 29th. It was the last Sunday in December.
Nice.
So it was an exciting time. It was good to see all of the people.
So the fact that this is the only location in SoCal tells us a lot that this was a very well-attended program for them and they want to come back here.
It was very good. They also had one out in Fillmore. They just broke even, and so they're just coming back here.
Wow.
So do they do other type of events on railways throughout the year, or any other type of, maybe something unique we can come up with in Paris?
Well, we had one of theirs. We had Charlie Brown, but that was not successful out here.
I'm talking about like a skydiver or a balloon falling into the train or something. Just thinking out loud.
We would just as soon not have that.
Thanks, Mr. Lamb and Heather. It's always a pleasure to have you both here from the railway. Did anybody have any comments?
Adam Eventov.
Yeah, you're gonna have to help us with that last name, Adam.
Actually, she got it pretty close. Eventov.
Eventov.
Hi, I'm Adam Eventov. Happy New Year to you all. Just want to take a minute of your time to introduce myself. I'm your new SoCal Gas representative. I'll be working in your community, communicating with city staff as well as public safety officials, fire and police on different initiatives, and working with public works whenever we're in the street and wanting to make sure that we're coordinating and collaborating with the city. Look forward to working with all of you and wishing you all a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Adam.
That is all.
Thank you. Anybody at this time wishing to speak on any item? Come on up, speak your name.
Good evening, everyone. Joshua Nagar, Director for the Chamber of Commerce. Wanted to give you a State of the City update. First of all, the Chamber is grateful for the opportunity to lead the way on the State of the City. Second of all, we've been working with Michelle Ogawa and Armando Ponchi, and we've been doing a lot of work, and we got an amazing State of the City lined up. We did a little self-analysis on what strengths we want to go forward with, what talents we want to take the battlefield with, and we came up with 2 things, tourism and community. I think Perris wins on tourism in this area all day, every day. So we're going to try to pick the battlefield and have the fight somewhere we think we can win and win handedly. Another thing we got a whole lot of here is community. You just saw the Panthers here, Bill Lamb's here all the time. We got community for days around here. So we're going to mix those 2 things together in a little cocktail, and we're going to have a State of the City. It's going to be April 30th. That's a Thursday, 7:30 to 9:30 a.m., We're going to turn the Lake Perris Sports Pavilion, Perris fun fact, that was built by Dave. Anyhow, we're turning that bad boy into a house of blues. Don Arbor Productions does all the concerts at the fairs, dropping in a massive state-of-the-art stage with the LED colors. You name it, we're going to have it. Outside of it, we're going to have all the toys from the community. We're going to have a hot air balloon. John Mott's bringing the school bus, the first school bus we got it over at the Mott Museum. Let's see, the trolley will be outside. I think the train museum's going to do an installation piece. If I'm missing anything, I think Jennifer will catch it. But we're going to put a bunch of toys outside, and it's going to be great. Did I miss anything? A pace car. We're working on a pace car, and the skydiver will probably be inside on a little dummy. But either way, it's going to be awesome. When you come inside, we're going to involve the community. How we're going to do that, we're bringing about a 40 to 60 student symphony to back up our choir. We're bringing a student choir as well. Both those going to be, the sound's going to be professionally modulated by Dawn Arbor Productions. And then on the stage, we're going to have two bands that'll lead. One, Sea is Mine, led by Mr. Hammond. Those of you familiar with Nuevo, Cassie Hammond, the Nuevo Theater, those are the Hammonds. They're pretty amazing. They're coming to our State of the City to pump it up a little bit. On the other half, our female vocalist name's Jaxie. She's a former Perris Panther, and she's got lungs for days. So they're going to be jamming out. Choir's backing them up. Symphony's backing them up. LED, full stage all the way to the ceiling. And we're going to rock it. We're going to show people what Perris is. We're going to define what Perris is, and we're going to go first place, take that leadership position where we belong. Inside, we're going with a Hispanic breakfast, and we're going to have our big 5 tourism vendors inside. Cool thing, we'll have a VIP lounge decorated with some concert materials left over from concert series last year, so it'll be very nice. In the VIP lounge, VIP persons will be invited to take pictures in front of a green screen, and it'll automatically kick out these pictures of them with council, with staff, with the big 5 tourism places and anything else we want, and they're going to be able to insert these pictures into their program. Then we're going to put on a 5-act show, and in between the 5-act show, we're going to have stuff about the city, little tidbits, obviously videos from Everett, and while the live performances are occurring, there'll be 5, we'll have professional video behind them of Perris, and it's going to be awesome. We hope to break the bank. We hope to set the bar on states of the city, and, you know, we have a chip on our shoulder. We have something to prove. We'll prove something to every other city in here. There's no doubt about it. Every other city in the Inland Empire is going to be playing catch up with us. So that's about it. Grateful for the opportunity, and we're looking to do some big things April 30th. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Josh. Anybody else? Very good. We're going to move on to item 12, council communication. Councilman Reb.
Yes, thank you. I want to start off by wishing everyone a happy new year. I know we're 14 days into the new year, but hopefully everyone has a prosperous new year and new decade. I want to thank the Cops and Clergy Network, along with Sister Casey, for putting on an excellent tribute to Councilwoman Rogers. I hate that I missed the section where you came in and were surprised, but it was a true testament to her impact in this community and her time on the council, and really look forward to working with you more in the next few years. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Thank Mr. Eventhal for coming out. I'd like to discuss the movement in the state. I know the state's looking at possibly banning gas lines and gas stoves in the next decade. So I just want to see the status on that. Hopefully we can work toward opposing that. Once again, I want to wish everyone a happy new year, and I want to wish everyone, we're heading into Martin Luther King weekend. I want everyone to take time to reflect on Dr. King's legacy. Today would be his actual birthday, or actually tomorrow, January 15th, would be his 91st birthday. So as he moves into somebody that we thought, you know, if he was still living, he would still be alive, to a historical figure similar to JFK and other individuals from the 1960s, just take some time out to contemplate his legacy. So I want to wish everyone a great MLK weekend, and I want to just thank everyone for coming out tonight. Thank you.
Councilman Corona.
Okay, I too want to wish everybody a very happy New Year. I know our city had some great things for 2019. I think 2020 is going to be a lot of infrastructure projects, and for those that drive on Perris Boulevard, I'm sure you see it. But the parts are finished, look fantastic, and I'm sure in the next week or so, or 2 weeks, or it's going to look great. I want to thank everybody for coming out to the to the second Perris Park cleanup at Mercado Park. It was a few dozen people. I'd say 40, 50 people out there just picking up trash from little kids to the parents of high schoolers that were out there. I know even our staff brought their children out there to get some community service hours. If you look at the before and after pictures, it's just a completely nice clean park as well there too. So I want to thank all those who come. I believe the next one's going to be around February 15th is the tentative day. So hopefully you come out. It's going to be at Paragon Park. I also want to thank the staff for the fantastic work on the On Track magazine. I think this was the most comprehensive magazine that I've seen so far. It just had everything in there. I mean, I'm going through there. I'm just wondering, well, I wonder if they have that. Sure enough, they had it. How about this? Sure enough, they had that. It was just a great, I'm not sure if the public really takes a look at that, but it's a great way to get information. So I know a lot of people come up to us, after we have an event, like, hey, how come I didn't know about that? It's in there. So if you want to look for activities for seniors, for teens, for youth, it's all in there. So please make sure you get your On Track magazine. You should have already received it. If you didn't receive it, come out to City Hall and do that. With that said, I just want to thank everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Rita Rogers.
I just want to advise everybody that Western Community Energy will be launching here in the city of Perris in April. So for those of you who would like to save some money on your electric bill, you'll be getting notices starting in February, and I believe Mrs. Miramontes is going to have someone come from Western Community Energy to do a full presentation to the council, so you'll be able to hear about it before we do the launch in April. We set the rates for it, and you will definitely save at least 2% on your electric bill each and every month. It will still be provided by Edison. You'll just be going through Western Community Energy, and you have the opportunity for that saving, which could be astronomical to some of our business partners as well, to save that much on your utility bill. And I also want to thank my cops and clergy family for really surprising me last night and really making me feel that all of my efforts in the 17 years that I founded and been the chair of the Cops and Clergy Network were not in vain. I certainly felt very appreciated, and the kind words and expressions. And I want to thank my colleagues on the council that were able to make it, and Richard and Clara and Isabel for being there to support. It was a very special night and one I will never forget. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. So each year, the Southern California Association of Governments hosts their Sustainability Awards to celebrate plans and projects that use innovative planning to promote a cleaner, healthier, and happier Southern California. So if we have any suggestions or any ideas that we'd like to pass on for nomination, I encourage those to submit those ideas. And then again, a great thank you to our Youth Advisory Council and our city staff for hosting their cleanup event at Mercado Park. It was really successful. And so one of the feedbacks, or various parents as well as students, their feedback was that they have an incredibly hard time earning this community service hours for students. So I think that was a great idea, and it was an initiative that was led by our Youth Advisory Council, which they know the need of. So I'm really happy to know that it's going to continue and that we facilitate that, and if we can also find plenty of other ways to incorporate that, because it does a great service to our community as well as to our students. And then I believe it also creates a sense of ownership for their parks. So now they can hold other people accountable. If they ever see anyone littering, they can let them know, hey, I take a lot of hard work and pride in making sure that this park is clean. So it also creates a culture here in our city. And then also, side note, there was a lot of cigarette butts, so keep your eye out for those who litter. And it's the small things that we don't expect our public works to take the time to literally pick each one of them up. So again, if you see anyone out there who is littering, even something as small as cigarette butts, just let them know that this is our home and we have to make sure that it's a clean, safe environment for all. And then other than that, that concludes my council communications, and I want to wish all Happy New Year's. I hope you all took time to meditate, create vision boards, and set really great goals for 2020. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, I'll do the short wash on my laundry list here. Anybody mention the trolley Santa toy giveaway, right, we did? Christmas, we already announced that one? Christmas parade, yep, this is old stuff. Lordy Lord.
Christmas came.
It came and left, huh? Breakfast with Santa, we talked about that one already too? That was after the meeting. So I went to the Val Verde CSEA, that's the Classified Employment, their Christmas party. Myself and Councilman Corona, we went to the Perris Elementary Classified Employees Winter Gathering. And might I say, they have someone there that knows how to make some good pozole. So we did have the trolley Santa toy giveaway, which was another successful year. That's where we drove around in 3 selected areas. Staff picked with some council input too as to where we're going to drop toys off. And really big thanks to all our partners, the chambers, private donators, and people who just give back to the community. It was really an awesome event. Prompts again to staff for the Christmas parade. It was a really nice parade this year. You couldn't ask for better weather for a parade. Nice and cool. It's really good. The Breakfast with Santa, another good event. Thanks staff again for putting that on. Really good. And then we had the Luera family and Yak partnership for the toy giveaway. That was another successful event. Community service, you guys spoke about the park cleanup. I just want to reiterate, it was a very good turnout of kids as well as even parents too helping us out. We talked about Rita's surprise party. I guess that's good enough for now. Okay, we'll move on to item 13, City Manager's Report.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, thank you. Just to elaborate on Councilmember Corona's request or statement about the traffic facility being built on Perris Boulevard, we are in construction. We are scheduled to be complete with that project next week. So I think we're down to 1 lane. By next week, both lanes will be open. So it actually evolved to being 2 projects. We had the slurry gravel repair, and then we had the sewer collapse. So it was scheduled for 2 weeks, and we should be right on, but they'll be completely open next week. And moving forward, it's time of year again when we start our community services activities after taking a small break. So we have several in the upcoming 2 weeks, starting with tomorrow afternoon. We're going to have our 19th garden ribbon cutting in association with Perris Union High School with the continuation school on 7th Street. So that'll be tomorrow at 11 a.m., which the community and council is invited. This Saturday is our snow day, which becomes a bigger and bigger event every year. Once again, we will have the activity on D Street in the parking lot, and it will go from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So the community is invited to bring their kids and enjoy the snow, regardless of the weather. In Perris, we'll have snow this Saturday. And then the Senior Center will be hosting a Chinese New Year celebration, which will happen January 22nd. So it's a week from tomorrow at 12 p.m. So we're going to have food, music, and prizes. We're also having a composting and vermicomposting workshop that will take place on January 25th at the Garden, 9:30 a.m. To 1 p.m. And the final... Excuse me? Oh, worms, yes. The final event is our Gear Up bike event, which will take place at Lake Perris. We're going to have 2 rides at Lake Perris, a smaller 3-mile ride, and then a 9-mile ride that we're now able to do a complete loop around the lake since there are improvements. So that'll take place Saturday, the 25th at 8:30 a.m. It is at the Bernasconi entrance, not the main entrance. There is a $5 parking fee for the vehicles, and helmets are also recommended. And then I want to wrap up this evening with introducing our new interim Public Works Director. As the council's aware, our previous director, Mr. Darrell Hartwell, recently retired. So here tonight with us is our interim director, and I'll allow Assistant City Manager Miramontes to introduce Mr. Adawan.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, I'd like to introduce Mr. Joe Indrawan. He's a gentleman sitting right across from me. He's our Contract Interim Public Works Director. He comes from Interwest Consulting Group. He has over 30 years' experience working as either Public Works Director or City Engineer. He's worked in cities including Chino, Corona, Eastvale, and his prior experience does include the management of day-to-day operations of public works, streets, maintenance, landscaping, districts, as well as long-term public works projects, stormwater compliance. So with that, I'd like to welcome to our management team, Mr. Indrawan. Thank you.
So we expect you to clean up our city in the next 2 days. Can you repeat the name? Is it Edward?
Joe Indrawan.
Where did I get Edward from? Joe
Indrawan. Don't ask me for the spelling.
Indrawan.
I'll do the spelling. I can't pronounce it.
Well, welcome, Joe. Expectations are high up here from the mayor and the city council, just to let you know. Once you give up that cell phone number, it's all on there. We call at all times during the night, so there is no sleep in the city of Perris when we have to do work. So,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council members.
Welcome
Happy
aboard.
to be here. Been 4 weeks and now keep coming back.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, is there
Thank
anything
you.
else? That's it?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council.
All right, that takes us to item 14. I know you all don't want to get there, but it is adjournment time, so time to go home. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. For our viewers at home, hope you have a nice evening what's left. And we want to